y'all, what's up? It's your girl Brianna, and we're back with another client tutorial. We're giving you really Barbie editorial vibes, and that's on period, y'all. All right, so we're starting off with our fresh canvas. We're going to jump right in, and we're gonna use our Bare Minerals moisturizer just to hydrate her skin and just get some moisture going. We're then going to blend it out, get it all over her skin, work it in very well. And then we're going to jump right into our Rosewater and Glycerin, spray that all over as our base. Now we're going to use our Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. We're just going to apply that everywhere and just make sure that you're really applying it, like really working it in. We want to just really paint that on because we want this to look like skin, so we really want to get it like worked in as much as we can and let it sit on the skin as much as it can to kind of like get that warmth. So as you can see, I'm just blending it out now, and we're going to really push this foundation in. We really want it to be very skin-like. Although this is a full coverage foundation, if you really blend it out, it does the job. It does what needs to be done. It'll still give like a nice full coverage look, but you can also really blend it out and sheer it out and give it a skin look as well. As you can see, I really take my time when it comes to blending. Like, this is sped up, but guys, I really take my time when it comes to blending out that foundation. So we're just blending it all out, making sure that it's all, smooth and has a nice finish. And then next, we're going to move on to our highlighting. We're using the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the color Cool Tan, and we're just going to highlight her T-zone, which is under the eyes, her upper lip, her chin, the bridge of her nose, and her forehead. Unfortunately, my camera did cut off on me. It overheated, so I did not get the part of me blending out the concealer, but this is me just going back over my work, just making sure, like I said, everything is really blended out. Now we're going to go in with our Dermablend in the color Translucent. This is just a setting powder, and we're going to go under her eyes, her T-zone, basically where we highlight it. We're going to just go there, and we're going to set it with our translucent powder just to make sure there's no creasing and that everything on her face, is set and really nice and ready to move forward. So I guess I do bake, but not really. I use a very light amount of powder, and I really press it into the skin, and I let it sit while I'm doing the eyeshadow, the rest of her makeup. But I just really let it sit, and I try to press it in as much as I can. Now we're using our Anastasia contour powder. I have to double check the shade, but as you can see, my camera also died on that part. So I just basically went around her, the bridge of her face, like around her face to contour, and then I did some of her nose. So now we're just going to move on, and we're using that same LA Pro Girl Concealer in Cool Tan just to shape up her brows. I like to do this before I actually fill in the brows, just because I'm going to move on to the eyeshadow next. So I'm just using this to kind of sculpt out those brows, and that way it just makes it a lot easier for me to just do the brows last and not spend so much time on it. So I'm just blending out that concealer now with a fluffy brush that came out of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It's the best brush for this, just to blend it all out and make sure it's all pressed into the skin. Now we're using my Morphe 35B palette, and we're just going to go into that pink shade, and we're literally just using this one shade. This is a very simple look, and I'm just using that one shade. I started off really light because I wanted to kind of use it as like a transition color. So I started off really light, and then I just worked my way into it. I just kept building it and building it. I kind of just started to blend on the outer areas and then worked my way in. And like I said, this is just a one shadow look, and we're just basically building until you get to the pink color that you desire. Now I'm working my way in. I'm starting to put that color on the lid, and as you can see, because I blended it out so nicely beforehand, it still gives the effect of like a lighter pink, and then I just build on that lid to give it a darker pink. So that way it has some type of transition, some type of like difference in the color. And as you can see, I'm just building it. Like I said, you build it as much as you want. You make it as dark as you want or as light as you want. But this is just the one eyeshadow look, so we're just pressing that color in just to add a little more pigment and just blending out the edges to make sure there's no harsh lines. And then now we're going to, you know, enjoy her, enjoying her face and taking her selfies in her videos. Now we're just going to use our Morphe filter powder. This is in the number 10. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just using this to wipe away our setting powder because we don't want her to look ashy. So this is just going to bring that color back. I really like to use this powder, or if you want a more higher end, you know, powder, you can use the MAC Mineralizer powder in Deep. That does a great job as well. So now we're just going in with our blush. This is a Juvia's palette, blush palette. I just went into that super light pink color, and we're just going to add this to her cheekbones, like the highest part of her face, of her cheek is what we're going to add it onto, kind of in that same area that we contoured. And I like to do a couple of sessions. I like to pack it on maybe 3 or 4 times. Now we're going to hop into the highlighting. This is called Enlightened by Danessa Myricks. So definitely grab that, guys. This is called Gotcha Glow. That's the name of it. Sorry, I was having a brain fart again. But this is called Gotcha Glow. So we're just going to highlight every area, her cheeks, her nose, her forehead, her chin. So basically the same thing, the T-zone. And I'm just using that same fluffy brush that has a little bit of that Morphe powder on there just to blend that out and just to make sure it's not just like sitting on her face, because we don't want that. We don't want it to look like it's all piled up and caked up. We want it to be very blended out and skin-like. So we're going in with, this is basically like a dip down, like a pomade from Morphe. I'm just going in with this just to give her a very nice, like, you want to like fill in her brow, but I don't want it to be too dark or too harsh, so I'm just lightly filling her brows in. And then I'm going to blend it out with my spoolie just to make sure that there's no harshness in those brows. We're just going back in with the Morphe 35B palette in that same shade of pink and just plopping it under her eyes so that way we can have a very vibrant look. And as you can see, we're having selfie time again, part 2. She is feeling it, guys. She is feeling it. Yes, duck lips. All right, so we're going to jump in with my Awaken Dreamz lashes, guys. These are my lashes from my brand. I do have a cosmetic line, so definitely check that out. And these are also my matte liquid lipsticks and lip glosses that we're going to be using on her today. So I'm just lining her lips with a MAC Chestnut pencil. I love to use brown liners no matter what look I'm doing. Granted, you know, it's definitely your preference, and you can definitely use whatever color that you like to use, but I do use it on everyone. I mean, everyone, and it always looks great. You also can, you know, change the type of brown that you're using. It doesn't have to be that dark. So now I'm just popping these lashes on. I let them sit with the glue for about a minute so it can get really tacky, and now it just makes it so much easier to just pop on. So I used my slanted tweezers and I just popped those lashes right on. I kind of lifted her eye a little bit where that tuck is, just to make sure that it kind of folds over the lash so we have it looking as natural as we can possibly have them looking. So I'm just popping that other lash on. And now we're going to move back on to our lips. We're going to move back onto our lips, and this is my matte liquid lipstick from my brand Awaken Dreamz, and this is in the color Sugar Baby. So we're just going to pop that on. This is a matte liquid lipstick. We're popping that on. We're blending that out. I'm going to have her blend her lips out, and then we're going to take a little intermission and hop back onto the eyes. I decided last minute that I wanted to make this a glossy lid look. This is my first time ever doing it, so I was like, oh, spur of the moment, let's try it. So I'm just putting a normal clear glittery gloss on her lid. And I'm just squirting it out and just popping it on with that brush just to kind of give it a glossy eye look, as you guys can see. So now we're just moving back on. I'm using my lip gloss from my brand Awaken Dreamz as well. This is in the color Pinktini. We love Pinktini. This is one of my favorite glosses. So I'm just popping that on just so that we have a glossier look and not, you know, a super dry matte look. So now we're just using my Rosewater and Glycerin to spray her face again. And now we're just tapping in, ladies. Tap in. We want to just make sure this looks like skin and press that in as much as we can. And as you can see, we are done. She is feeling it. I'm feeling it. And we are cute, guys. And I just want to say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for checking out this tutorial. There'll be many, many more. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And bye-bye.